about it, which was what we raised, and we tried to point out that, look, but people will have travel and all of that, and we even say, okay, how about the fans? Will the fans come? And Kola was saying, okay, when we get there, we'll cross that bridge. But for now, we are saying the athletes will be participating from the 3rd of January. And now this has happened. So we'll still hear from them and see what else can be done. But my own advice from beginning has been, move it by a year, since we were unable to hold it in in March this year. And when the Edo State government now said, okay, we are ready, we could still host it maybe just immediately after the elections, and they didn't do that, as the federal government did not give the go-ahead, then it would have been just best for everybody to say, okay, move it till March next year.
Well, I'm not surprised. Like Ibrahim just said, I think I saw this coming. You cannot give a date to the hosting states without them being involved. That's why there's the local organizing committee. That's the essence for them to communicate with the Ministry of Youth and Sport and have a proper synergy and say, okay, this is the date we can actually host this competition and everything work out. If that meeting was held without the presence of the local organizing committee, then there's a problem, and the truth is, whether we like it or not, whether COVID-19 or not, people are going to travel. These days, people are still traveling. People go to Lagos, people come back, people go to Abuja, come back, they still go about their businesses because the federal government have asked us to do that. But while we maintain the laid down procedures as far as COVID-19 is concerned. But again, you cannot stop someone from traveling. We've seen transporters, what they decided to do, for instance, in a 80-seater bus that's supposed to go to anywhere in Nigeria, they reduced it to about 10 people. There should be the social distancing between anybody that is inside the bus, even the driver. So people will travel, and this actually, you cannot keep them in camp. I mean, they have to unwind as well. They have family members. They have to also visit them. Probably this could be the only time in the whole year that you are going home to visit your father, your mother, your family members. So it would be unfair to just be coming out from the festive mood. And the next thing is the National Sports Festival. If we are not trying to host the National Sports Festival for fun. I'm not talking about Edo State now, I'm talking about Nigeria. Yeah. We are hosting the National Sports Festival to discover talents, to see who and who can make up the athletes that we compete for us. As far as the 2021 Olympics is concerned, that's the 2020 Olympics that was postponed from this year to next year. So I really know this is not a joke. We need to host this, and we were ready. Yes, COVID-19 happened. We would have had the Edo State Sport Festival where everybody came. We enjoyed ourselves right there at the University of Benin. So I think it is the right step in the right direction. This is a government, not but we are in democracy, not in a place where it is kind of what you are told you do. So I think it's the right thing for them to do. I think all of them should go back to the drawing board and sit down, the round table, and ensure that a good date is fixed for the athletes, men and women, to come in and enjoy themselves and compete for honors. Plus, I must say this, I find no offense in then dissolving the local organizing committee. I mean, you cannot continue to put people together and pay them, and you don't really know when the date is going to come. So the truth is, the government of the day here in Edo State did the right thing.
All right, let's see how and when they are going to fix it so that everyone will take part in this tournament and just have enjoyed themselves because of what has been going on. It's taking too long, and I don't know how the athletes are faring right now in camp, and somehow it's kind of discouraging and disturbing.
It's not necessarily taking too long. It's just that the communication from the federal authorities to the state government has not been what it should be. That has just been the problem. We just mentioned the Olympics being postponed by 1 year, the Euros being postponed by 1 year. Nothing wrong in from when you said you postponed it. Okay, you said you postponed indefinitely. That was the first time. And we said postponing indefinitely could mean 2 weeks, could mean 6 months, could mean 1 year, could mean anything. So when you have now tackled COVID to a certain extent, the next thing to do will have been to liaise with the state government, that is the local organizing committee, which is headed by the deputy governor of the state, and now say, okay, this is the situation. We've been able to tackle COVID today. So, but from what we are seeing, it will not be feasible for us to host it at this time. So let us move it to another time. But what we started getting was they are going to host it this year. It's going to be staggered. I don't think that the local organizing committee was very much involved in that particular decision. And then something else happened. Then they said the National Council on Sports met and did something. The PTF didn't agree with it, and so the whole thing has just been confusing until a couple of weeks back when they now said, okay, January 3rd. And I recall asking, because just before that January 3rd, we spoke with a member of the media subcommittee of the local organizing committee, and he said they're not getting the proper communication from the federal authorities. And we then asked an aide of the minister, and he said, okay, now everybody has met, everybody is on the same page. The presidency is aware, the PTF is aware, National Council on Sport, the local organizing committee, the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And he said that date was sacrosanct. I recall asking him, this date, is this sacrosanct? And he said, yes, it is. Everything is said. But now you have the local organizing committee saying no date has been officially communicated to them, and they cannot in perpetuity just keep hoping and waiting, and and it's not nice. Maybe everything you hear about the National Sports Commission will be coming from the media. We just get the information and we put it out, and you're asking the local organizing committee, and they have not been officially informed. It isn't right. So things they've got to find a way to smoothen things over, and then carry the local organizing committee along, let the state government be aware. It should even be the state government that should be dictating and saying, okay, this is what we want. This is when we are going to say, okay, we are ready. They had always said that they were ready, but they were not given the green light. They were not told, okay, just say to you are now fine. You can go ahead and make your preparation. This is the time that we want it to take place. I think they did the right thing by saying, okay, the way it is right now, we don't know. So there is nothing. You tell us now. You tell us the date. Officially communicate to us the date that you want this thing to hold. Then we'll tell you, yes, we'll go ahead with it.
All right, let's go on our first break on the show. We'll return. We'll talk more.
Good afternoon, Oga Landlord.
Good afternoon, Sonny.
I beg, I hear say if I want to open bank account, I go need NEPA bill, water bill, CFO of this land, and 2 guarantor. So I beg, enter house, help me bring the document, them come, make I go make photocopy.
Sonny, why are you disturbing yourself when you can open a Hope Wallet account with your phone number right now?
I feel open account now?
Of course.
And you sure say no be those ones where I go need ATM card to activate?
See, Sonny, you can use your phone number for transactions immediately you open a Hope Wallet account from anywhere. No need to go and queue under the canopy at the bank. No need for documents or filling any form. Just dial *569*9# on this your phone now.
*569*9#. Abi?
Oga Landlord, they don't send me message. They say, I welcome to Hope PS Bank. Sonny, you don't get account with us.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Hope, succeed. Hope Bank always.
I'm ready to make it sense. When you want to cook for family and friends, no be money cause I'm moving. Not about taking time or rest. Try Maggie Niger Pots for that delicious bottom pot. Niger Pots, delicious bottom pots. Maggie Niger Pots, delicious bottom pots.
New Maggie Niger Pot, made from natural smoked fish, stockfish, crayfish.
With Maggie, cook the difference.
Make I tell you a story where they sweet me for body. It dey save me time. It dey near my house, yeah. If you want deposit money, withdraw money, or open account, yeah. Even if your bank is far, no need to dey waste your time, yeah. Go use Ecobank, Express Money, and your corner bank, Express Money. In any your house, Express Money. Iboku for everywhere. You want to open account, withdraw, send money, pay your bills. Use Ecobank Express Point within near you.
Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Motel Road off Achip Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop Stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching live on a 2.7 KFM down here in Benin City. All right, I haven't talked about the much awaited, much anticipated National Sports Festival that has been indefinitely postponed. Right now, then we don't know when it's going to be happening, so we are waiting on when the federal government will call the state government and say, okay, you have been given the green light to go ahead. So we hope that all Edo athletes will continue to do well, even while they are preparing and waiting for the right time. Okay, coming down to Nigeria, this is really disturbing, because when I saw it, I was like, well, I wouldn't think this is the reason why some of the Super Eagles players are not giving their best, but somehow it's also affects because they are working to receive their monies. But we've now been told that the NFF, they are working to avoid Super Eagles strike, and that boils down to the fact that they have been owing they've been owed 18-month backlog of bonuses and salaries, and that's it's also dated back to 2019 when they went to the African Cup of Nations. Up till now, they have not been paid, but a member of the Super Eagles team spoke on the condition of anonymity that what they are doing is not right. If it were to be their own, they get paid as at when due, but now it's about the players, and if they make mistakes, they will now start saying it is because of the money that not be paid and all that. But they've tried their best, and up till now they've not gotten their money. At first it was because of a pandemic, but right now pandemic has been tackled to some extent, but up till now they've not gotten their money. This is really worrisome, and for the fact that they've played against Sierra Leone, home and away, and they couldn't get maximum points from those games. Well, I don't know if we have to judge them by this, but as a team, is it right for them to be owed 18 months salary, allowances and bonuses? This is something that I think the NFF, if they get sponsors, they can sort this out, instead of waiting for this to come out for the media, and now the players have been begged, to wait for some time before they get their monies.
Well, it's sad. Seriously, 18 months. It's quite some number of months in there. But the truth is, I don't know. I really don't know. I've not heard from the NFF. I really don't understand why they've not paid. If the palliative came already, and they've already disbursed to associations and all of that, I think they should also find a way to try to offset the bees as well. We understand it has been a difficult year, but this thing did not happen just this year. Calculate months, 18 months. It's coming from last year and all of that. I think I don't know if you're not going to pay the boys. Ibrahim have said this times with that number here. If you're not going to pay the boys and you are calling them up, you just have an agreement here. See, this game you play, there's no money. So if you decide to honor the invitation, you are playing for free. You're playing for the country. Yes, we'll take off your coming into the country or wherever we are going to, and we'll take off your returning back to your base for your football club. But this is for free. Then the boys, we have to make their own decision to say, I'm playing for Nigeria. I know I'm not getting anything from it, but to promise them, and you want to invite same players to come and they honor you and you are owing them. I mean, it's disturbing. No player will definitely go to the pitch when he or she is owed 18 months of wages to give you 100%. I'm not trying to create excuses for them. These last 4 games that they've played have really been awful, but I feel that they have to be that motivation. And if the NFL have to do their part, they have to do it as soon as possible. If you're owing 18 months, you can give them 9, you can give them 10, you can give them 6. Just show them commitment that you want to pay.
Look, it is very disturbing because it's coming from very credible sources, which means it is true, except maybe the NFF will come out and then say, no, the story is fake news. I am a journalist, so I know sometimes you do things and the person will tell you, please do not reveal my name. And so they say the player who mentioned this to BBC Africa pleaded anonymity, and you've got to protect your sources. Because some days ago we were having a conversation with the secretary of the Edo State Football Association, and he was asking, so how did you get the line? Like, look, I have my sources, I will protect our sources. I'm a journalist. I mean, I can get letters even from FIFA, from CAF, from the NFF, and I don't have to tell you where I got it from, except if maybe the source said, no problem, you can reveal me as the source. So I would have wanted for the player to reveal himself, to say, yes, it is me, and this is my name, and I'm telling you categorically they are owing us 18 months. But since they did not do that, I understand that as a member of the journalism family, I recall hearing rumors about this, and somebody, I think whether a caller or somebody sent a text message, and I was like, well, the president of the NFF, Amaju Pinnick, was in the dressing room of the Super Eagles. He wasn't there to tell them well done. He wasn't there to tell them they were all fine boys. He was there to lampoon them. He blasted them. He told them that they had done everything for them, and there was absolutely nothing that was due to the Super Eagles that had not been given to them. So I was basing my argument with that person who was saying, well, I said, I have also had these rumors of owing salaries, but I was thinking, if they were really owing them, then maybe one player would have said, sir, you have not done everything, or you are owing us backlog of 18 months or something. But because no player, and even after that, we did not hear anything from any player, it did, maybe I don't know what to believe, whether they are actually owing them. But now it is coming out that they are actually owing them 18 months salary. I recall even when Dr. Mike Navarro was here with us, he said some players have complained about some things going on behind the scenes. Look, it is not right. It isn't right. I don't care what the situation is. The officials, some of them have argued that even they themselves, there are some things that they are due that they have not got. But we know that most of the times the officials get their own. So why will you be owing players for 18 months? Recall that we were almost embarrassed internationally. Well, it has even happened in the past where we have been embarrassed. But at the World Cup, we almost did not play that match. The Eagles threatened that they were not going to play against Argentina.
The last World Cup?
Yes. Yeah. No, not that one. The one, I think it was at the 2014 World Cup. Oh, okay. The match against Argentina, the round of 16. Yeah. They said, not the round of 16 now. That was against France. That they were not.
When they had to fly money from here.
Yes, they physically flew money from Nigeria to pay the Super Eagles. The sports minister did that, and they had to pay them. And it's something that has been recurring. And every time every administration comes in, they tell you they've been able to resolve that. They are not owing players, and after some time you get to hear some of these things. It is not nice at all. I know that these players are comfortable. Maybe they don't even need the money, even if they can survive without the money. But when you have made promises, when you've told them beforehand, they know that, okay, this is what I will get for being in camp, the number of days I'm in camp, and this is what. Why can't the money even be ready before they head to camp? If you are getting the money from the federal government, when government officials travel out, before they even travel, their stackers are ready, everything is ready. So why is it that when it is people coming to represent their country, to play for the country, you are not paying them what you're supposed to pay? We can't even say, oh, it is the backlog of salaries that affected them in the game against Sierra Leone, because even before that game they were playing. So we can't accuse the players of, oh, so this is the reason, that's why you didn't play particularly well against Sierra Leone in the two matches or in the friendly games. From what they are telling us now, is 18 months is 1 year and 6 months. The matches against Sierra Leone just happened recently. For me, they even try, saying that even coming to play those games, because they could have just said, no, we are not coming until you pay us what you are owing us. It's really not that. Francis mentioned the palliative. The palliative was not meant for that.
This is
palliative. This thing, the backlog started even before the outbreak of COVID. 18 months. We didn't have COVID 18 months. COVID was late December of 2019. That was when they discovered, and that's why it's called COVID-19, although it's it completely destroyed 2020 for us. So we can't say we are going to use the money for COVID. There was money, or there is money already earmarked. If it had not been released, it is somewhere. So they should, if the NFF have to meet the sports ministry, through them the federal government, to say, look, this is the situation, we've got to settle the debts that we are owing these boys who have come to represent us. And if they are doing this with the Super Eagles, you can imagine what the Super Falcons will be going through. It really is not nice, and we have advocated several times that there is what the NFF can do. They've got a marketing department, they've got agencies that they could partner with to ensure that they don't even have to go cap in hand to the federal government. If every time you are waiting for money to come from the federal government before you pay the Super Eagles, then it's a problem. I understand it's the federal government thing, but nothing stops you from looking for ways of paying. We've had some of these things before. They will say one company has decided to be paying the coach of the Super Eagles. So if you can do that, why don't we also try and look for ways of endorsement, sponsorship and everything, so that you don't need to. So if whatever allocation you are getting from the federal government, you can use them for other football matters. You can use them to develop football. You don't have to wait for FIFA every time any goal project you have. It's a FIFA. What about the NFF goal project? What development plans does the NFF have for football in Nigeria? Why can't the NFF say, okay, every state we are going to do something that will be sustainable, not the Future Eagles and stuff. I'm talking about projects that the ordinary people the ordinary people on the streets can go to and say, okay, this is an NFF development project for Edo State football. So let us have all of that. It's really, really disappointing that we are having this in 2020. I thought we had gone past all of this a long time ago.
Before going abroad, let's quickly talk about our own Flying Eagles. They are not doing well, and right now they are hoping that Cote d'Ivoire will beat Ghana in their last game for them to make it to the semi-finals, which is really, really uncalled for, because before now, we know that Super Eagles, as far as Africa is concerned, they are the ones leading, and they have done so well. Yes, in 2013, they won it in South Africa, but the coach that led them to that victory, talking about John Obu, he has come out to say that distractions from scouts contributed to their loss to Ghana. But to me, when he led them to the title, this is just qualification for the AFCON competition, coming up in Mauritania. But this is not the competition itself. If himself he can lead them, to that title, why is this really difficult for Ladambozo, who said it was wastefulness in front of goal that caused them that game? But for Obu, he said it is the distraction from scouts. Well, I don't know. Even if scouts come to the camp to say, yes, just sign me, as your agent, and I'll take you abroad, whether you play here or not. I don't think that is right, and it is the right of the technical crew to ensure that distractions are not part of their campaign. Ensure that no one distracts your players. After the tournament, you can talk to them, but not when the tournament is going. So I don't know the ones to take. Obu is saying distractions, Bozo is saying wastefulness in front of goal. But this is not really nice for Flying Eagles.
The two excuses, to me, is not good enough. If you are the owner of your house, fenced round, you determine who gets to enter your compound. When they knock, you go to the gates as the owner of the house, and who is that? Who are you looking for? When it's not a good time for you, you say, young man, young woman, please come tomorrow. We can't have this conversation now, or you cannot see this person, it's already late. The boys are in camp. The scout will always move around to try to watch and sign these boys, especially when they play in the stadium. It is left for the technical crew to ensure that these young lads are safe. When I mean safe, it's not saying the scout are going to harm them, but the distractions that they are talking about will definitely happen. So I think there's nothing that they are going to say that is going to take the blame of the technical department, because they played a game against Ivory Coast. We saw that wastefulness that Lanaboso spoke of happened on that same day. I thought, as the head of all coaches in here in Nigeria, he would have sat down and said, okay, this was our problem, and we'll go ahead and try to do something. Now, when they were going for the 2013 World Cup and the 2015 World Cup respectively, even the 2007 World Cup, something was kind of prominent in camp. they didn't know how to play penalties. Late coach Yemi Teller, that was in 2007, and of course, Obu, you made mention of. Then, of course, Emmanuel Amunike ensured that most of the times, once they are done with their training sessions, the boys stayed back to practice penalties. Hence, when it came to penalties, especially in 2007, those boys were clinical, playing their penalties. The Spanish side knew nothing about how they were able to take those penalties. I can't remember if any of them even missed a single penalties.
It was 3-0. We scored our first 3. The Spaniards missed their first 3.
Exactly, these guys. And when they were interviewed, I think it was Chris Santos Macaulay there, I can't remember who actually said every day that they went for training, not just when they got to the venue where they were going, the country where they were going to be playing the tournament, but right from the time they decided this is the squad that will be presenting Nigeria at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup, they started right from day one practicing. Hence, what we saw was fantastic, and so it's practice make perfect. So I hope that going forward, I don't know, I don't want to hold my calculator. To me, I think the Flying Eagles are back home. But if the Black Satellite, they go ahead to beat Ivory Coast, because I know that they do their best to ensure that that won't happen, then good for them. But I hope going forward, whoever gets to handle the Flying Eagles will understand that this is one place that Nigerians, we are very, very interested in, the Under-17 and the Under-20, because they become the next star for us.
There isn't just one particular reason why a team loses. So I understand what they are saying, distraction from scouts and wastefulness in front of goal. But I will argue that distraction, in quote, from scouts should be a positive thing. I mean, why do you play football? You are playing so that you can, well, first you love it, you have passion for it, but mainly because you want to. That is what 99.9% of the players that you see in football, it's mainly to get their family out of poverty. Many of them are from not well-to-do homes, so they want an avenue so that they can succeed and then make their family proud and everything. Now scouts are coming. Why some people even pay scouts to come and watch them. Scouts are coming to watch you free. Why will you be distracted by the scouts that are coming to watch you? And now you have the opportunity, you are playing, and you are being wasteful in front of goal, where because of the distraction. I don't get it. If the time that I was deceiving myself that I was going to become a professional footballer, if I had scouts coming to watch me, my God, only God know how well I would have played. So no, I would not say I was distracted by
it. It should serve as motivation.
No, I was never going to miss any goal. So I don't understand why they are telling us that it's distraction from scouts, and then they are wasteful in front of goal. You know that scouts are there watching you, and you are being wasteful in front of goal. What will the scouts take to the club to say, okay, I found this very good player? So I understand that the NFF they are doing their best to ensure that the players don't get distracted and all of that. But I am also thinking, if I were in the position of these players, and I know that there are scouts, there are people who are watching me, it would make me perform better than to be a source of distraction for me.
We hope that they get to do well and that they get to skate through the semi-finals. But if they don't, then we'll go back to the drawing board. I wonder when the drawing board will be full. We'll go on another break and we'll come back. We'll continue. We'll go to Europe and look at what happened yesterday in the UEFA Europa League.
I mean, they turned out to pay money, help people for them hustle, and other bank matter them. My name now. 9 PSB.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service done like that. Don't just sit down there look.
This now to introduce 9 payment service.
As far as the UEFA Europa League is concerned, yes, Arsenal, the Gunners, as they are called, yesterday they went, saw on the Concador, they played against the lowly rated side as far as Europe is concerned. I'm talking about Irish side, Dundalk, and it was a 4-2. But there is one Balogun. I don't know if so many people are watching that guy right now. He's doing well for Arsenal, but I don't know if they are able to, if they will be able to switch, convince him to switch allegiance yet, though they are still working on some players. But that guy is becoming
one of them. This is a French player.
Yeah, he's a French. Yeah,
is he a first team player like Bukayo Saka?
Not a first team player, but he's beginning to.
There are so many of them out there. How many of them have we got?
He got a goal, and he also got an assist yesterday. They won 6 matches, 6 victories, and 100%. But domestically, they are doing really poor. But yesterday, they had to win that game to ensure that yes, they top that group. Fantastic one for them.
Well, I don't know. Arsenal, to me, when they play and win against Dundalk from which of the countries?
Ireland. The Irish
I'm not really going to come out and celebrate them. They are tougher opponents now, even more in the UEFA Europa League. When they play against Tottenham in the Europa League and they beat them, or when they play against West again is coming in
AC Milan,
and then Manchester United, those clubs, and they are able to beat them convincingly, then I can say congratulations. I mean, like Ibrahim said, I don't think it's that time of in our life to be worried about Balogun right now. If Balogun is going to play for us, even if Balogun comes into Super Eagles right now, who's going to put on the bench? Tessus or Victor Osimhen or Paulo Onuachu? I know he hasn't been really covering himself in glory as far as the green-white green is concerned, or is it Bonaventure, Dennis Bonaventure, that is very, very good. So there are so many good hands right in there in the Super Eagles of Nigeria that is really looking for a place to showcase their talents.
Okay, let's take a message from our sponsors, because the segment we are right now is being sponsored by BetPay.
If I put this one, I get 500,000. If I put this one, I get 1 million.
Which one when you talk to yourself like this?
Never hear of BetPay. On BetPay, they go reward you whether you win or lose. Remember, say 150% first deposit bonus they wait for you. You fit deposit and withdraw instant 24/7. And many of pocket package full ground go register for BetPay and start to win.
Person fit be agent?
Yes, now if you become agent and then you go they get bonuses. Oh yeah, go www.betpay.ng.
BetPay, you stake, we pay.
All right, let's take the full results from the matches that we have played yesterday, the comprehensive results. And in Group A, PFC CSK Sofia defeated AS Roma, who had already qualified 3-1. The Young Boys of Switzerland, they needed to win that game to book their spot in the last 32, and they did that against the CFR Cluj of Romania 2-1. Then in Group B, the Gunners topped that group following their 4-2 win over Dundalk. Then Rapid Vienna, who needed a win to progress, but Moda needed a point, and they were able to get that point. That match ended 2-2, and Moda progressed alongside Arsenal. Then we look at Group C. Bayer Leverkusen defeated Slavia Prague 4-0. Then Apoel Beersheva enjoyed a 1-0 win over Nice. Group D, Lech Poznan were beaten at home by Rangers of Scotland 2-0. Then Standard Liège drew 2-2 with Benfica. We look at Group E, where PAOK drew goalless with Granada. Then PSV Eindhoven trashed Omonia Nicosia of Cyprus 4-0. Then Group F, Rijeka stunned AZ Alkmaar 2-1, while Napoli and Real Sociedad played at a 1-1 draw at the newly renamed Estadio Diego Maradona Stadium. Then in Group G, Leicester City were 2-0 winners over AEK Athens, while Sporting Braga of Portugal also defeated Zoya Luhansk of Ukraine 2-0. Then Group H, Celtic won their game, though they've crashed out already. They defeated Lille 3-2. Then Sparta Prague at home were beaten by AC Milan. Group I, Maccabi Tel Aviv defeated Sivasspor 1-0. And the match between Villarreal and Karabakh, that match was postponed, but Villarreal through to the last 32. Group J, Ludogorets Razgrad of Bulgaria at home lost to Last Lanes of Austria 3-1, while Tottenham Hotspur beat Royal Antwerp of Belgium 2-0. Group K, it was Dinamo Zagreb 3, CSK Moscow 1, and Wolfsberger AC 1 final 0. Group L, Offenheim defeated Kagent of Belgium 4-1. Then Slovan Liberec and Red Star Belgrade played out a goalless draw. These are the results of the matches that were played yesterday. Let's take another message from our sponsors, then we'll look at those that have already qualified for the last 32.
It's time to win very big. Feel the excitement at www.betpay.ng, the sports betting company that rewards you whether you win or lose. Stay on top of the action wherever you are. Get the best odds, 150% deposit bonus. Cash out anytime. Accumulate your bonus. You can deposit and withdraw instantly 247 and much more. Register now at BetPay to start winning. You can also become a BetPay agent and earn fantastic commissions and bonuses. Visit www.betpay.ng. BetPay. You stay, we pay.
Say no time time to check time, but this is not time to hammer. You don't try bet pay, they go reward you whether you win or lose. Remember, say 150% first deposit bonus, they wait for you. You fit cash out anytime. You fit deposit and withdraw instanta 24/7, and many Ogbon get things full grand though. Yourself fit become BetPay agent, and you go they get Ogbon get bonuses. Oh yeah, sharp go www.betpay.ng. BetPay, you stake, we pay.
Alright, so it's time for us to look at those that have already made it to the last 32, because the draws will be conducted on Monday at the football headquarters in Lyon, Switzerland. Okay, the teams that have made it to the last 32 right now are in Group A, AS Roma, and the runners-up are Young Boys of Switzerland. Then Group B, Arsenal and Moda, the runners-up. Then look at Group C, where Bayer Leverkusen, German Giants won that group, then followed by Slavia Prague of Czech Republic. Then in Group D, Rangers topped that group, and Benfica also finished as runners-up. We look at Group A, it is PSV Eindhoven who finished top. Then Granada of Spain finished as runners-up. Group F, Napoli, runners-up Real Sociedad. Group G, Leicester City, and runners-up Sporting Braga. Then Group H, AC Milan, Lille finished as runners-up. Then Group I, Villarreal and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Group G, Tottenham Hotspur, runners-up Antwerp. Then Group K, Dinamo Zagreb and Wolfsburg. While Group L, the last group, Offenheim and Resta Belgrade. These are the last 32 teams that have made it. So the round of 32 begins on February 18th. The second legs take place on February 25th, 2021. So that is what we've got for you as far as the Europa League is concerned. Okay, and later in the evening we'll be giving you the fixtures of what to expect from the top 5 leagues. It starts today, and we'll be giving you the fixtures later in the evening. But before we look at the SMS and take the final whistle on the show this morning, let's quickly talk about Formula One. Formula One, Lewis Hamilton, last time out, he tested positive and was replaced by George Russell, who did wonderfully well, winning the first and second practice. But this time around, the man himself, the main man of the moment, is back, and he will be racing this weekend at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix after completing 10 days of quarantine in Bahrain. So he's back again, and the first practice starts today at 9 a.m. That is when the first practice will begin. Then the second practice, we know how it is. Then on Saturday to be qualifying, and Sunday the main race. What are we expecting? There's nothing for him to prove. He's already
and I was just going to say, look, it's just because of the competitive nature of Lewis Hamilton. That's why he's doing this, because he has already won it, and everybody will understand he's sick, or he was sick. That's why he didn't participate the last time. I would have wanted George Russell to continue. I wanted to see what he could do, because he had the potential of even winning that race, if not that Mercedes messed up in the pits, and they just completely did some things that just he could not recover from. But even then, he did well. He was able to go forward, and it looked like he could even win the race, but unfortunately he suffered a puncture, and so he had to make 4 pit stops. But even then, he still finished amongst the points. He got 4 points from that race. So I would have loved to see what he could do again if he has a second bite at the cherry. But Lewis Hamilton, as competitive as ever, fought COVID, got well, and he's back, and he's going to be competing. So he really wants to maintain that high level, and that's why look, I think it is warning bells, as if they even needed reminders that Lewis Hamilton, talking about the rest of the drivers, Lewis Hamilton is not going to be easy now. Because
this is the last race of the year.
He's already won. There is no need for him to race, but here he is, still coming, still participating in this weekend's Grand Prix. So I think it's going to be a sinking feeling for all of the other drivers, knowing that Lewis Hamilton is still hungry, is not satisfied, having now become the greatest driver in Formula One history. He has the most wins. He has equaled the record of Michael Schumacher of 7 championships, and yet he still wants to keep winning. He could be resting now, go on a holiday and prepare for next season, but he still wants to compete with them. So imagine what will happen during the first race of next season when everybody is starting on a clean slate. Nobody has anything. Now he's already won, but he's still competing with them. Others will want an opportunity to, okay, let me even win now that Lewis Hamilton is not here, but he is back. He wants to still compete with them and win this. So you would love it as a fan, but I'm telling you, the other competitors, they are not happy at all right now with what Lewis Hamilton is doing.
All right, quickly, boxing now. Francis, ahead of the match coming up tomorrow against Kubrat Pulev, so many questions have been asked about Tyson Fury, talking about asking Anthony Joshua, but he has told them right now that all questions about Fury should wait until he deals with Pulev. I think that is the best way to go. Remember, Ibrahim was saying he should stop talking about talking too much before this fight, so that it will not get he will not get distracted and at the end of the day regret all this too much of talk. I think this is the best way to go. But we are waiting for that match tomorrow.
He has learned his lesson with what happened with Andy Ruiz Jr. when he was talking more of a Deontay Wilder fight, a unification berth, than actually focusing
on Andy Ruiz.
I think nobody is distracting AJ. That does not really jettison the fact that he wants to unify the bets, but he wants to really get Pulev. We saw them yesterday at the press conference. They will have a weigh him later today. He was so focused. He was ice cold. Let's put it that way. He gave the ice cold feeling to Pulev. He was really there and focused. I feel, where my heart is in this one. It's going to be AJ all the way.
All right. Okay. That's the much we can take. But let's quickly look at the SMS. Maybe we can take 2 or 3. Then we'll come in the evening. We'll take more.
Mr. Ibrahim, good morning. Your program is no longer interesting because of advert is too much. My name is USA.
Rosie, how do I name it? It's been on air, and we have who do it.
So it is not interesting, but to me it is now that is the most interesting. Thank you. But despite the advert, I will still give you the show now. I don't understand though. Francis, when will you call out your favorite Ole and his incompetent crew? We are back at Europa League and not a single mention of it from you. Do you support Man U or the manager cause he's an ex-player? Ole is the worst thing to happen to my club. This is Manchester United we are talking about.
Well, if you guys recall, when the groups were done, I said, and somebody even called and fought with me on air, I said United would drop to Europa League. That I'm saying RB Leipzig and Paris Saint-Germain going.
Are you an octopus? Many are not seeing you as someone who does not. It's all right.
What they says, what happens to Mrs. Magical Foods? The cause and power is in shots. Why not playing shots like a back pass to keepers? Is it his age or what? Okay, struggle to understand that, but I think we got the idea. Good day, men of sports. Neymar scored a hat-trick and took the ball away. What if Mbappe had scored one more to make a hat-trick? Will there be another ball for him? Also, what if two teams play out a 3-all draw with a hat-trick on each side? From Francis Aerodrome Close off Ekenwa Road, Benin City. Well, I think if player gets the ball, because the rule is that once you score a hat-trick, you get the ball, you get the match ball. And we know these days there are so many match balls. So they are going to give the person the ball. But I think it
the first person that actually got the hat-trick to the hat-trick level that gets the officiate.
The official match ball. But I think the other guy gets the ball.
But that official match
I think Pogba should leave United. He is a distraction. Do we have time for more?
Yeah, just one.
Okay. Oga Ibra, only be like him, they use charm for Man United. When they want to sack him, they will change their mind.
These guys are funny. All right, that's the most we can take. Before we go, let's blow the final whistle on the show this morning.
Let's not run away from the reality. A player on the bench who realizes with 5 changes he's not one of them, of course he's not a happy player and wouldn't expect him to be. But every player who is on the bench or leaves the pitch in cold weather with me, they can go to the dressing room and even prefer if that happened. Tottenham Hotspur's manager Jose Mourinho answered your question after leading his team to the next stage of the UEFA Europa League. But Dele Alli and Wingsu left before the end of the game, and that's the final whistle on the show this morning.
And with that, we come to the end of the show this morning. Don't worry, at 4 we'll be here to give you the evening edition. Many thanks to you guys for being part of the show, and to my strike partners Salim Ibrahim, the Brakadabra Sports, and Sanofi Fans for doing this with me. My name remains Wusa Igwe and the Sports Maestro. Have a wonderful day ahead, and bye-bye.
We talk about what's more practical and comfortable in the business of elevator, escalator, building automation. Then let's talk about Enabritech Limited for your home and office, companies and industries. When you think of professionals in providing and installing elevator, escalator, building automation, automatic doors and gates, and lots more, think Enabritech Limited. Visit our Benin office, 14 Idean Street off Iyama Road, GMA, Benin City. Telephone 0905-257-2571. Abuja, 40 Mirage Estate, Guaripa, Abuja. Telephone 0807-7577-398. Lagos, 417 C6 1004 Estate, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. Telephone 0807-7577-392. Ghana office, Medina Estate, Accra, Ghana. Telephone +233-504-651-537. Email info@enabritech.com. Website www.enabritech.com. Enabritech Limited. Technology knows you.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable unlimited broadband internet service to homes and businesses. Service is currently available across Lagos and Benin. Visit us today at Wireless NG, 5 Ramaya, Ikenede Street off PZ Sapler Road, Benin City, or our marketing office, 70 Olowo Complex, Airport Road, Benin City, or call 0807-887-9960 or 0703-672-9147. Wireless NG, erasing internet boundaries.
For yourself, oh, this no be the one you go take only ear here, oh. You must take your eyes see so that you self go enjoy what the other people they enjoy. Uyi Technica, the generator headquarter where they make everybody enjoy generators of all sizes and models for affordable price. Whether not the small one for barber shop or I been a big Perkins generator for factory and big building. Uyi Technica, the place for generators, spare parts, grinding machine, pepper mill, and others. Mention the name and size of generator where you want. Bakam Uyi Technica get them for the kind of money where they your pocket. Bakam Uyi Technica get them. Come take your eyes see for the generator headquarters. Uyi Technica, 7981 and 83 Mission Road, Benin City, and all other Uyi Technical branches. Uyi Technica, affordable products for everybody jollification.
In an effort to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria and the Niger Delta region, Initiative for Youth Awareness on Migration, Immigration, Development and Reintegration (IAMDER) is partnering with an Italian welding institute in Genova, Italy to offer practical skills on the area of gas pipe and underwater welding, rail track construction welding, advanced carpentry, and many more. Trainees will have an international ISO certification that will qualify them to work for multinational oil companies both in Nigeria and abroad. Application is free. An interested candidate must be between the ages of 22 and 40 and must possess a minimum of secondary school certificate. Deadline for registration is December 28, 2020. Screening and selection of candidates will commence 15th of January 2021, and only shortlisted candidates will be contacted to proceed to Genova, Italy for this training from March 2021. For more details, please visit www.youthinnovativetraining.com or call 0812-504-9112.
Who not like better team?
9PSB, your correct bank don land o. No need to dey waka say you wan go open account. 9PSB go allow you open account where you dey, pay bill, save money, start to send and receive money fast. Because why? 9PSB agents dem tanda gidigba for where you dey for any transaction. Make life for dey go easy.
This na to introduce 9 Payment Service Bank, correct bank for you and me. Dial *990# or download the 9PSB app for iOS and Google Play Store. Make you start to the bank. Our bank agent dem tanda for your area. With any phone, you fit open account to Kia to pay any kind bill and start to send and receive money instant. 9PSB. Now our bank be that.
Don't you touch that dial. Sugar, don't touch that dial. From Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News Update.
It's 9 a.m. Good morning. Welcome to KUFM's News Update. I am Godslove Orlando. Edo State government is to recruit 500 personnel into various cadre of state civil service. The head of the State Civil Service Commission, Princess Ikiwa Ine, disclosed this on Thursday after presenting the 2019 Civil Service Report to the governor. Details of the vacant positions will be made public in newspaper advertorials from Friday 11th of December 2020 so that interested and qualified candidates can apply. The Edo State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Kukumo, has been summoned to appear before the State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on SARS brutality and related abuses. Also to appear before the panel is John Agaga, a superintendent of police, over the alleged murder of 5 youths who were allegedly killed in Isukwi community in Esako East local government area of the state in December 2019. Counsel to the chief, UK Yahaya, and 4 others, Kemia Sonogie, told the panel that in less than 5 minutes, SP Agaga allegedly killed 5 of the youth of the community over a minor conflict between 2 neighboring communities that could have been resolved amicably. And in Rivers State, where the State Police Command has arrested, disarmed, and detained the trigger-happy policeman who killed a commercial tricycle operator at Rupoku area of Obiakpo local government area of the state. The policeman caused the riot on Thursday morning when he shot and killed a tricyclist for allegedly refusing to give him 100 naira. The protesters blocked the Rupoku axis of Port Harcourt International Airport and demanded the killer be released to them. And now to political stories, where the All Progressives Congress APC has postponed a nationwide membership update and revalidation exercise scheduled to begin on Saturday, December 12, 2020. This was announced by the National Secretary of the Caretaker and Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee, John Akpan Ude, at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja on Thursday. While giving reasons for the postponement, he listed the fast approaching Christmas and end-of-year celebrations, as well as the objective of ensuring maximum participation as factors that necessitated the shift of the date of the exercise. And finally, on News Update at 9, there was a mild drama at Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday as the former chairman of the defunct Pension Reform Task Team, Abdurrashid Maina, collapsed during court session. The federal government is prosecuting Maina on a 12-count charge of fraud and money laundering before the Federal High Court. Maina was recently extradited from the Niger Republic after he jumped bail and escaped the country. And that's KUFM News Update at 9. Coming up in a minute is Dialogue. I am Godslove Orlando saying thanks for listening and good morning.
I'm ready to make it sense. When you want to cook for family and friends, not the money cause I'm good. Not about taking time or try Maggie Niger pot for that delicious bottom pot. Niger pot, delicious bottom pot. Maggie Niger pot, delicious bottom pot.
New Maggie Niger pot, made from natural smoked fish, stockfish, crayfish.
With Maggie, cook the difference.
Check this out. We got a great show coming your way today.
Hey, everybody, get it! 92.7 KUFM.
Nigeria's political landscape has evolved over the years, but since 1960, the yearnings of the people have remained the same.
My own problem in life, so I don't tire.
There are no jobs in this country.
You want to carry 250 million naira, go buy
buy motor. Corruption for this country too much.
Healthcare in Nigeria is really poor. Women are dying at childbirth almost every day.
Join us on the program Dialogue as we focus on Nigeria's political scene. We bring you interviews from political gladiators.
Focus wasn't the problem with the government. It was the corruption in the SSP account. It was the fact that without any clearance, the federal government dips their hand in the SSP account to fund their business. And SSP account is money you save from the state government and the federal government.
In-depth analysis of policy statements.
Nigeria does have a problem with corruption, and so do many other countries, including developed countries. I don't like the fact that when people mention the name Nigeria, the next thing they say is corruption. This is a country of 170 million people. 99.9% of them are hardworking citizens who just want to get on with their lives, and they want a government that delivers for them.
And voicing your political opinion every weekday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 92.7 KUFM. Dialogue. Your voice counts.
Join the conversation on KUFM's Dialogue as we introduce written voices. You can now keep the conversation going beyond 10 a.m. Send us your views on topical or burning issues of the moment, news, current affairs, or social-political issues that you may wish to share your thoughts on. It must be civil, factual, straight to the point, and in not more than 150 words, and we will give it a voice. Send your views to kufmdialogue@gmail.com or via our WhatsApp platform on 0807-552-7556. Keep the conversation going. Dialogue. Your voice counts.
Welcome to the program Dialogue on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. My name is Charles Opuru.
I am Godslove Orlando. Good morning.
Okay, today is Friday. It's the 11th day in the month of December 2020. And of course, usually it's a wrap-up edition or the recap edition, if you like, of the program Dialogue. It'll be no different. We'll definitely do justice to that. But before that, let's check out one or two messages that you have sent us here. And okay, don't worry, we'll progress without that. Yesterday we had an activity here in Edo State at the Edo State Police Command, and in fact the issue of security in the country in the aftermath of the EndSARS protest has been a source of national conversation. Edo State is not immune from any of these issues. Joining us this morning to do justice to this particular conversation is the number one crime fighter we have in Edo State, the Commissioner of Police himself, CP Johnson Kokomo. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for bringing me on board.
Thank you very much for coming. CP, let's get started on the conversation already. You're not a new face in Edo State generally. I mean, this is your second coming here. How would you rate Edo State State generally, your activities here, your time here, your experience here, and the people of Edo State generally in your line of business?
The people of Edo State are good, very good people. True Nigerians, really true Nigerians. And policing the Edo State, though has been an Herculean task, to God Almighty be the glory that we have actually succeeded in putting the activities of the criminals in check.
I mean, if you compare it with your past experiences in other states, is there anything unique or peculiar to this particular state?
Crime is prevalent everywhere. Crime does not know a specific boundary. Crime is a natural phenomenon and it cuts across geographical boundaries. So, fighting crime and criminals, of course, remains our statutory responsibility, and wherever we find ourselves, we do that to the best of our ability. What you may begin to look at, if you are talking about peculiarity of Edo State in crime fighting, is the crime distribution. What are the prevalent crimes in Edo State? These, of course, are things we may begin to, because what may be prevalent in Edo State may not be the same in some other states. So,
okay, all right, CP. Thank you very much. That is CP Babatunde Kokomo, MNI. Moving on, the NSAS protests have come and have abated, but we continue to, feel the impact of that particular activity. Yesterday, I was fortunate to be a part of your entourage when you were taking POA around town, showing them some of the places that were, some of the police stations that were destroyed in the aftermath of the NSAS protests. I'm going to put this question, sir. What measures have been put in place to ensure that police stations are not so easily overrun and set ablaze by hoodlums in future, considering what just happened?
Let me quickly tell you that never again will it happen. Never again shall we experience a situation where criminal elements will overrun police facilities, police formations, setting them ablaze. Never again shall we experience that kind of a thing in Nigeria. You see, the protests started on a peaceful note. It is a common knowledge that it was thereafter hijacked by the criminal elements. We have all learned some lessons. Lawful protesters, yes, are allowed to embark on lawful protest. And one of the measures that have been put in place is for lawful protesters. When I say lawful protesters, I mean those who are ready to protest within the provisions of the law. So if we have lawful protesters now are willing and ready to carry out their protest in synergy with the police, because they also had a nasty experience from the NSAS crisis. So the police is willing and ready to synergize, render lawful assistance to the lawful protesters. So never again shall we experience a situation where criminal elements will now hijack the process.
All right, Yuletide season is around the corner, celebration is around the corner, and at this point we are going to be experiencing a high human and vehicular movements in the state. So would security be guaranteed before, during and after the Yuletide?
This, of course, is our statutory responsibility that we would not run away from. That is what we know doing best, and will continue to do that, providing security at all times. And particularly this Yuletide, we will not fail the good people of Edo State in ensuring that before, during, and after they enjoy this current season in peace.
In synergy, I mean, the police cannot do everything on their own. We have other security agencies that also help to maintain law and order. We have the civil defense, we have the road safety, to mention but a few. The question, or maybe the question, if you like, of interagency rivalry between multiple security agencies has been there. I don't know how you are going to tackle this to ensure safety of lives and property this Yuletide season.
I want to say loud and clear, that there's nothing like interagency rivalry in Edo State as far as Edo State is concerned. No interagency rivalry. The government has put in place a structure that does not encourage interagency rivalry. And I am the Commissioner of Police for the state. I remain the chairman of the heads of security agencies providing security for lives and property in Edo State. We don't have such rivalry. If there is anything that will require the attention, if there is anything that will require the synergy, collaboration, cooperation of the agencies, it's a question of reaching out to other heads of services. They are always willing and ready to do the needful to ensure that we fight crime and criminals from all fronts. So we collaborate efforts.
All right, talking about vehicular movement during this Yuletide season, the Benin-Auchi Expressway is a black spot for kidnappers, and the Yuletide season is around the corner. How will the government guarantee travelers' safety on these other routes, basically linking into Edo States?
Let me answer the question as a Commissioner of Police and not as government.
Okay.
The government has actually assisted us. We have received more men from the police force headquarters. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, MPN MNI, in his wisdom, has sent in more hands, more police operatives, the PMF personnel, to assist Edo State in dominating the public space to ensure that we keep the activities of criminals at bay. And the route you have just mentioned, you will see that there is increased police visibility on that route. Not only police visibility, if you apply that route, you equally observe military presence. So it is not, policing Edo State is not a one-man show. Policing Edo State is a collaborative effort of the police, the military, this time around the army, the Air Force, the civil defense, the DSS, the immigrations. We are all in one boat to ensure that we provide adequate security. I want to say in very clear terms that there is increased presence of security personnel on our high roads, on our highways. So you may want to go and observe what I've said personally, and maybe if you have one or two comments, you can reach out to us.
In addition, CP, in the past we've seen one of your predecessors, I think that was the current AIG Dan Malam, where during his tenure they had to, I think he did it in Lagos, where they had to clear the bushes on the side of the highway, to for increased visibility for people who are driving, because the feeling is that nefarious activities or people who have nefarious intentions stay in the bushes beside the highway. But are we going to see anything like that from, okay, as the Commissioner of Police, not as the government now, where we see a clearing of the bushes on the side of the road for increased visibility for commuters on these roads?
Yes, on our part, we have made a request to government. Ours is to ensure we're on the roads 24 hours to fight against these criminal elements. And we have actually called the attention of the appropriate agency of government to that. And they are working seriously on that to ensure that the bushes along the road are cleared for better visibility. We observed this, no doubt, and we have sent in our request to the appropriate quarters and attention is being given.
All right, moving on away from that, we want you to tell us what is being done to sensitize the public from attacking policemen due to the aftermath of the hashtag #EndSARS protest.
May I quickly draw your attention to the fact that I would rather prefer to hear you say preventing hoodlums.
Hoodlums.
You know, because when you say members of the public, it gives an impression that the public indiscriminately unleash terror or attack police indiscriminately. Okay. But what we experienced in the last EndSARS crisis was hoodlums, criminal elements. Criminal elements were the people that actually attacked the police. As I said before now, never again shall we experience a situation where hoodlums, criminal elements will attack police. As I said, lawful protesters are allowed to embark on protest within the limits of the law. And as I said earlier too, we want to see lawful protest carrying out such protest in synergy and of course collaboration with the police. So how does the criminal elements come in? That is why I said never again would criminal elements have the opportunity of attacking the police, because there are rules of engagement. There are rules for the conduct of police operatives and police officers. So we will do all within the provisions of the law. We will continue to remain law-abiding police operatives, police officers. We will do all within the provisions of the law to ensure that we prevent such unlawful and criminal attack on our men and of course on our facilities.
As a follow-up, I mean, yes, of course, it gladdens, I'm sure it gladdens the hearts of Edo residents who are listening to you, guarantee this assurance, or give this assurance rather. But there is something called, how do I call it now? Police-public relationship, the relationship between the police and the policed. There is this, sometimes, mutual suspicion or lack of trust. Some people call it a trust deficit, especially in the aftermath of the EndSARS protest. There was a time when security was not on the streets. I mean, policemen were not on the streets. So much so that the IGP had to actually visit Edo State to psych up the men. Gradually, we are seeing policemen return to the streets. But this relationship between the police and trying to get the trust of the public back on the side of the police, are we seeing that happen? If yes, we'd like to know how it's happening, or we'd like to know some of the activities that the Edo State Police Command is taking, or the steps you're taking to make sure you get the public back on board.
Even during the crisis, the members of the public still reposed a lot of trust and confidence in the police. I make bold to say it again, that criminal elements the criminal elements were the ones that were really against the police, and they were the ones that actually attacked police facilities. While police facilities were being attacked, law-abiding citizens were still calling on us, beckoning on us to come and assist them in the protection of their lives and property. Can you begin to imagine what we really experienced? While police facilities were being attacked, law-abiding citizens who were apprehensive of possible attack on their facilities, possible attack on their premises, were still calling on us, that the police, who else would they call to do that? So the trust has always been there. It is only the criminal elements that will not want to see the police. Criminal elements and police can never be friends. So the law abiding citizens who always want us around, and we are always willing and ready to perform our statutory responsibilities to ensure that we protect lives and property.
Okay. The governor promised to rebuild the police stations that were destroyed. We saw a couple of them yesterday, and they've been there for a while. I mean, what is the status right now? Has that promise been redeemed? Are we in the process? People who live around those areas where they no longer have a police station because of vandalism or hoodlums or criminal elements, like you call them. What do they expect going forward in terms of rebuilding their police stations and bringing them in back? That's what I mean.
Yes, the government is, I am very sure the government is doing very well in that direction. A number of engineers and contractors have been sent to site that I know of, and one of the engineers from government had been with us. He was with us, and he's been working in synergy with the police engineer. We have the Department of Works in the police headquarters, and the representative of government, that is the government engineers, are working in collaboration with our own engineers to see that what the government is putting in place for us is in tandem with the prototype structures that we have, so that the government doesn't just forge ahead to put a structure on their own, but a structure that will conform to police specifications. So that is what they are currently doing. And I really need to quickly add that the Dubakom Police Division, for instance, where the former station was razed and demolished, the government has been able to provide an alternative structure for us to take off policing. And what is being done now is providing what we will require to function well in the building. But there's already a structure in place.
Okay.
Tables, chairs, and some other things.
Have you occupied it, yes?
Yes, the police will be occupying it soonest. We just want all those things that we will require to function well to be in place. But the structure is there.
All right, let's talk about remuneration right now. During the hashtag #EndSARS protest, if you remember the 5 of 5, one of it is that police service should be reformed and salaries should be increased. Few days ago, there was a report in the news that some policemen protested for unpaid salaries. Now, and also policemen, they've also complained about poor remuneration, and we've seen government announce an upward review of the police pay. Has the salary review been implemented yet?
When the salaries are reviewed, it will be in the public space.
Okay.
So when we have salary review, it's public funds, public agency, public departments. It will be there in the public domain. So
it's not been reviewed yet.
I'm not telling you that salaries have not been reviewed. That is not what I said. I've not said that. But I am saying it will come to be a common knowledge for all of us to see, for all of us to know. You know, and at the appropriate time, we'll say things for ourselves. When salaries are increased, decreased, multiplied, you know, jacked up.
So let's talk about resources for the police. A month ago or thereabout, I had an interview with the former IGP, Solomon Arase, here, and he made a startling exposure, if I can call it that. He said something about the budget for the police. Now, he said the government announces something for the police, and then what the government gives to the police is way less than what they've actually announced. And this has cost quite some. When he made that statement, a lot of people were surprised to hear that, because we checked the police budget and it ran into billions. But he said, no, that is what they announced, and when the time for appropriation comes, the police actually gets way less than that. He called it, I think the expression he used was an envelope budget, what the police gets, which is less than what was announced. We know that the police needs a lot of resources to function, vehicles, of course, your arms, and many other things, uniforms and so on and so forth. Would you say the police are well, shall I say, funded? I think I'll use the expression funded to carry out their duties.
Funding is the responsibility of government, and whatever that is given at any given point in time, as Oliver Twist will desire more.
Maybe funding will narrow it down to just money. There are other things like other resources like vehicles, because sometimes you go to police stations and they complain that they don't even have vehicles to operate, and this hampers the ability of the police to function. What ways, other maybe creative ways or other partnerships, so to speak, would you put in place, or would you say is happening already, to see the police function optimally despite the challenges you face in terms of resources?
There is no agency of government that does not have its own challenge or challenges, and such challenges, of course, such challenges come to the attention of the management of such agency of government, and the police is not an exception of agency of government. If we have our challenge or challenges, it is the responsibility of the management team, headed by the current Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, MPMMNI. Challenges, of course, are being looked into. All matters relating to the force are being looked into by the police management team. So if you want more information, accurate information about the question you just asked, I want to strongly advise that such question is better addressed to the Inspector General of Police, who is in the best position, of course, to provide accurate answers to this.
Okay, let's move over to your men, that those of them that have lost their life in active service, and maybe those of them that have lost body parts, maybe limbs or arms in service. How well are they compensated?
We have those who have suffered some form of injuries, disabilities. We have the insurance scheme, we have the compensation from the insurance, and those who died in the course of active service, also the dependents who have what we call burial expenses being taken care of by the police, and of course the insurance compensation.
And all of them are functioning optimally?
They are all functioning.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, the rest of the conversation with CP Johnson, Babatunde Kokumo, MNI continues. But meanwhile, you can take down these numbers, because in about 15 minutes, we'll be opening the phone line so you can put your questions or make your own contributions on the program. 0706-263-9275 or 0903-939-4427. The SMS line is 0807-400-9076.
Or you can also call 0812-178-9154.
We'll be back after this break.
So this is support from the highest authority. So if we have this support, we should never be demoralized. We should be resilient. All that happen in terms of attacks on the police station should not stop us from coming out to perform our constitutional duties. But while we are performing these constitutional duties, we must also protect ourselves, because every policeman is a human being, and you are also entitled to human rights protection. And don't forget your First Order 237. You read it very well, you digest it very well, and you know when you should use your firearms. So you use your firearms in a lawful manner. One of the ways to use your firearm is when your life is in danger and there's no any other way to, then you use your firearm. Does it make sense for you for a policeman to die when he's carrying a rifle? So, but you must use it in a lawful manner because you are law enforcement agents. When you use it wrongly, that is when you see people protesting. So in essence, every human being, whether you are a policeman or a driver or a taxi man, you are entitled to human rights protection.
We are calling on the government and people of Edo State to continue to partner with the police. Our initiative on community policing is up and doing. I think by next week we should be able to pass out the community policing officers that we've trained, and I know Edo State is part of the beneficiaries, so that within the community, if we know everybody and everybody knows us, this kind of activity will not take place. This kind of attacks will not take place. Because even if strangers are coming to a community to attack, the community policing officers and the stakeholders within the community will rise and say, no, we don't accept that. They'll protect their own community.
I understand very clearly your logic and rationale for community policing, and we will continue to work with you because that is the way to go. Policing should be owned by the community. Policing should be driven by intelligence gathering, and policing must be actively supported by those who are beneficiaries from, the action from policing. So we are very clear about your direction, and we want to assure you that in Edo State, and as long as I remain governor, we will continue to support the police.
Alright, you're welcome back. It's still Dialogue on 92.7 KUFM, and we are here with the Commissioner of Police here in Edo State, Johnson Kukumo, to take your questions and your complaints, if any.
Okay, CP, we just listened to the IG in audience with the governor of the state, and they were specifically talking about community policing. In fact, we understand that some community policing, I think cadets or constables rather, were graduated not very long ago. But there is still the ambiguity. When people hear community policing, some people find it a bit difficult to differentiate between community policing and conventional policing. Would like you to throw more light on this particular phenomenon called community policing.
Thank you very much. The concept of community policing basically refers to the involvement of the community members in policing their environment, in policing their communities. Simply put, that's it. The police force has looked for a way of bringing in community participation. Members of the community spread across various strata now constitute what we refer to as community policing components. you will see that we have in various communities, we have the vigilance men, the various vigilance groups is regarded as an integral part of the community policing concept.
So the vigilance is part of community policing?
All manners of community activities geared towards policing the environment is part of community policing. But on the part of the police, we have the police special constabularies. This is an initiative of the current government. This is an initiative of the current police hierarchy to bring in representatives of the various representatives of the community in a formal manner, and they have been given formal training in policing activities, and they are referred to as police special constabularies. We've had the first set of them trained at various police training institutions across the Federation. The ones from Edo State passed out a couple of weeks ago, and that their deployments had been effected. They will go back to their wards. They will go back to their local governments from where they will function. And the police special constabularies are to work hand in hand with the existing conventional police. They report their activities are to be monitored, the activities are to be managed by the heads of police posts, the heads of police divisional headquarters, and the area commands as applicable. They are to go into the nooks and crannies of their various communities, see things for themselves, take necessary action in synergy with the existing police structure. We have the OC of a police post, if it's a village police post, divisional headquarters, the area command at that level. So the thing cascades down from the state to the village police post. The essence is to get members of the public, members of the various communities involved in their own security affairs. And this, of course, has yielded results. It has been existing in some places before now. So what we have just been able to do is to formalize it, make it formal for government to recognize the police special constabularies, for individuals to recognize the police special constabularies, and for them to know that they are functioning for the good of the people. So the community policing concept is a very, very wide one. It's not restricted to the activities of the police special constabularies. A traditional ruler who is security conscious, who has put in place local contents in the security arena is involved, is taking part in community policing. So simply put, community policing is the involvement of members of the community in policing the environment.
Thanks for that clarification. And
all right, it's time for us to open the phone lines.
Before we do that, we've had a lot of shall I call them cult wars or cult killing in the upper Sakwamba area of Benin City. You know, at the time videos were surfacing from that particular part of Benin City. It's a part that is well, I say notorious for this kind of activities. When you have an area of the city that is like that, is it what is the specific style of policing for an area that is a hot spot for cult war or cult killings, you know, such as upper Sakwamba area of Benin City?
You will agree with me that the the problems we're experiencing from Upper Sapuma Agnes was as a result of intercult rivalry. And we have been able to put that in check. I am very, very sure that in the last few weeks we have not really received reports of such intercult rivalry clashes from that axis. I want to add that the last few weeks when we had such clashes was ostensibly as a result of the fact that the police facilities there were burnt down during the NSAS crisis. They were attacked by criminal elements. We had Ubekun division rest down. We had Idoko and one other police post.
Sensibio
went down. There was one other police post. Dumes. We have Dumes. We have Idoko. We have Ubekun. All these police formations, of course, made it impossible for us to have police presence immediately after the NSAS crisis at Upper Sapuma, because this, of course, were the operational basis of the police, and they were burnt down, and there were no immediate alternatives from where the police could operate. So the policemen who hitherto then were working from all these facilities had to relocate to the police headquarters. And what we have been able to do now in synergy with other security agencies is to have a joint operation where we established bases along the long stretch, and we have men permanently at various nipping points. If you move through the road, Upper Sapuma down, you see nipping points by the Army, the Air Force, Civil Defense, Immigration, the police. Then at some points we have all these agencies mixed, and there are some areas where we have them working independently, but we still work in synergy to ensure that there is peace. So there has not been anything untoward
for the past few weeks. Okay.
For the past few weeks.
All right, now you can call us 0706-263-9275, 0903-939-4427, and 0812-178-9154. Or send a text message. You can make it through the busy lines, 0807-400-9076.
When you do call, your name, your location, and your submission, and whatever you have to ask the Commissioner of Police. All right? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Charles and Orlando.
Good morning to you.
This is Mr. Omar Stephen. Commissioner, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, I'll be listening to you. I think I salute your courage for coming to this beautiful station to talk to Edo people. My first question is the issue regarding the welfare and the funding of the divisional police headquarters throughout the state, especially this my dear state. Sir, how long have you been able to spend money to all the divisional police headquarters to buy stationaries for their various commands? And secondly, sir, this issue of the distance between the average Nigerian policeman and the public, the distance is too much. What are you people doing to strengthen the relationship between the public and the Nigerian police? Thank you and good morning, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Omar Osifo. The CP, would you like to answer that immediately, or should we continue taking more questions?
Let me answer that.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you so much for your beautiful questions.
Mr. Omo Osifo is his name.
Omo
Osifo.
Thank you, Mr. Omo Osifo, for your beautiful question. The welfare and the funding remains the responsibility of the government, and I want to tell you that the police receives its share, and whatever it is allocated to the police has been judiciously spent. So as soon as it is practicable, that we will improve upon.
Okay.
But I want you to get the record straight. I want you to have it straight that whatever it is allocated to the police is always judiciously spent.
All right. The second question.
The second question has to do with the relationship between the public and the police. We are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that there is a very healthy relationship, very healthy, very robust relationship. We have been able to identify areas where we have experienced some difficulties, where relationship becomes strained, and the police is doing the needful to ensure that we straighten up such areas in order to ensure a seamless relationship.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Charles.
Morning to you.
This is Brother Mike.
Brother Mike, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Uwelu Houses. Good morning, sir, Mr. Commissioner, sir. Sir, what are you doing as the Chief Officer of Police in See, sir, the truth of the matter is that some policemen are still collecting bribes. Look at yesterday in one state, a policeman killed a tricycle because of 100 naira. Please, sir, this bribe, is it their right? Or if it is their right, so that we can begin to do it. Or if it is not their right, let them stop it. And that is the thing that even caused that NSAT, the way some police people are treating the masses. So is it their right to collect bribe on the road?
All right, Brother Mike, keep listening to your radio. Thank you very much.
Brother Mike.
From Uwelu.
Oh, from Uwelu. Let me thank you for your question. And let me say clearly that receiving bribe, collecting bribe, giving bribe is not the right of any citizen. It's not the right of any citizen. Police collecting bribe is illegal. We'll consider it abnormal and we'll consider it intolerable. We will not tolerate. We'll continue to fight against the corrupt elements. I want to say that the Nigeria Police as an agency of government has mechanism for punishing erring policemen. Any policeman that collects bribe, all you need to do is to get us on our lines, is to get the report across to us. It becomes our responsibility to ensure that we subject such erring policeman to departmental trial and appropriate punishment will be meted out. We don't encourage it, we don't want it, and we do all within our capacity to sanitize the system. If there is any information, please let us know. And may I quickly advise that you also try to discourage some of our friends who also give. Giving and taking remain illegal. Giving and taking remain an offense. So I want to appeal, while we are fighting those who collect, on the part of the police, policemen who collect will not rest on our oars, leaving them to operate freely. We'll continue to effect their arrest, subject them to departmental trial, and punish them appropriately. Also help us to talk to members of the public. As I'm even talking, I'm even seizing this opportunity to appeal to members of the public to desist from giving when such illegal request are made.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Charles.
Morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Commissioner. My name is Mr. Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Nigeria, go ahead.
Yes, I want to please beg you. In that road and the villages surrounding, in my life, I was born and brought up in that area. I have never seen a police van patrolling in the interior villages, except something happened that you want to go to police to arrest somebody. So these are this is one of the things that is causing, making all those bandits hide inside the bushes around. Please, I want you to use your good office to make sure that police patrol vans should always frequent in that area. And your men, please, sir, they should learn how to approach citizens professionally. A policeman can't just see me now. If I go to a policeman to ask questions, he can't just look down on me and be talking to me in the manner that I will not, that is not palatable. So these are one of the things I want you to do for us, because we are human and we can work with the police. And my question is bail completely free now, sir?
Is what completely free? Ask again, please. Okay, bail. Okay, is bail completely free? Okay, we got that question. All right, no problem. All right, CP, because we are pressed for time, so
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Nigeria. You have talked about your area somewhere out the road.
So the villages inside the road.
Talking of the villages in the interiors, villages, I want to assure you that we always extend our patrols to such places, and the highways too will continue to protect them. And the criminal elements we are talking about that are right inside the interiors, please, when you see something in the interiors, try to say something. When you see criminal elements, people whose faces are very, very strange, who are not people domiciled in your area, please let us know, so that we'll be able to come in there to do the needful. Meaning, we need information from you. Then about the issue of bail, bail remains free. Wherever you go, you are not supposed to pay a dime for free. You are not supposed to pay a dime for bail. And wherever you go to secure the bail of a suspect that is in police custody, and the police is requesting for you to drop some money, please get across to us on our line, and we'll ensure that such is completely discouraged. And the policemen doing that will be appropriately sanctioned.
All right. Talking about your line, you've mentioned a couple of numbers to reach out to you. Please, we would love you to call out the numbers for the members of the public to have access to it, so that when they find themselves in such situation, they can quickly call out that number.
Okay, so while we wait for the numbers to come up, let's read this message that came in. It says, "Good morning, Charles and God's love. I want to thank the Commissioner of Police in Edo State for a work well done. Please, sir, we need a police station in Upper Sokbomba. We thank the Army and Co. for being there for us." And this is coming from Wilfred from Upper Sokbomba. I think that's been asked and answered already. Okay, the numbers, please.
The number you can reach us on, emergency number 080 7777 7 in 4 places 3721.
Okay, 080-7777-3721. Thank you. On that note, we want to sincerely thank you, the #1 crime fighter in Edo State, CP Johnson Babatunde Kokumo MNI, for coming on the program. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for bringing me on board.
Thank you. That's how we end this morning's edition of the program Dialogue. Keep being a good Nigerian. My name is Charles Oporum.
I am Godslove Orlando.
Good morning.
There is something missing in the world today. It's the one thing that can make the world okay. something, no, you don't even have to pay. It's about doing the right thing every day. 'Cause you are the light, you are the sign, you are the only hope, keeping hope alive. Do the right thing, let the world see, let the light shine everywhere. And when it seems like no one's watching, do the right thing anyway. Just do the right thing all the time, and you'll be sure to have the whole world singing. Do the right thing. Hey! Do the right thing. If the right thing is the order of the day, then the world will be a better place to stay. A corrupted mind is your worst enemy. So I suggest you do the right thing starting today. 'Cause you are the light, you are the sign, you are the only hope, keeping hope alive. Do the right thing, let the world see, let the light shine everywhere. Yeah. When it seems like no one's watching, do the right thing anyway. Just do the right thing all the time, and you'll be sure to have the whole world singing.
92.7 KUFM. From Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News Update.
It's 10 a.m. Good morning and welcome to KUFM's News Update. I am Godslove Orlando. Edo State government is to recruit 500 personnel into various cadre of state civil service. The head of the State Civil Service Commission, Princess Ikiwa Ine, disclosed this on Thursday after presenting the 2019 civil service reports to the governor. Details of the vacant positions will be made public in newspaper advertorials from Friday, 11th of December 2020, so that interested and qualified candidates can apply. The Edo State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Kukumo, has been summoned to appear before the State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on SARS brutality and related abuses. Also to appear before the panel is John Agaga, a superintendent of police, over the alleged murder of 5 youth who were allegedly killed in Isukiwe community in Esako East local government area of the state in December 2019. Counsel to Chief UK Yahaya and 4 others, Kami Asunogie, told the panel that in less than 5 minutes, SP Agaga allegedly killed 5 of the youth of the community over a minor conflict between 2 neighboring communities that could have been resolved amicably. And to Rivers State, where the State Police Command has arrested, disarmed and detained the trigger-happy policeman who killed a commercial tricycle operator at Rupoku area of Obiakpo local government area of the state. The policeman caused a riot on Thursday morning when he shot and killed the tricyclist for allegedly refusing to give him 100 naira. The protesters blocked the Rupoku axis of the Port Harcourt International Airport and demanded the killer be released to them. And talking politics, where the All Progressives Congress APC has postponed the nationwide membership update and revalidation exercise scheduled to begin on Saturday, December 12th, 2020. This was announced by the National Secretary of the Caretaker and Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee, John Akpan Ude, at the APC National Secretariat Abuja on Thursday. While giving reasons for the postponement, he listed the fast approaching Christmas and end of the year celebration, as well as the objective of ensuring maximum participation as factors that necessitated the shift of the date of the exercise. And talking judicial matters, there was a mild drama at Federal High Court Abuja on Thursday as the former chairman of the Deformed Pension Reform Task Team, Abdurrashid Maina, collapsed during court session. The federal government is prosecuting Maina on a 12-count charge of fraud and money laundering before the Federal High Court. Maina was recently extradited from the Niger Republic after he jumped bail and escaped the country. And finally, a news update at 10. The Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning and the Nigeria Customs Services have urged importers to take advantage of the Automated Import Duty Exemption Certificate, IDEC. The Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, said this on Thursday during a sensitization seminar in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital. She said the new automated platform will reduce the amount of time spent on processing import duty exemption requests, promote transparency and eliminate undue human interference, as well as other challenges associated with the manual process. And that's KUFM's news update at 10. Please stay with us for more interesting programs and news updates on every hour. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world, either by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our KU mobile app from the Google Play Store. Remember, we're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria. And you can also listen to us on RadioGuardian.com. I am Godslove Orlando saying thanks for listening and good morning.
Don't you touch that dial. Sugar, don't touch that dial.
Edo Green Carnival, Edo Green Carnival, oh yeah, Edo Green Carnival, Edo Green Carnival. The general public are hereby invited to the first Edo Green Carnival song, public lecture and pipe prayer for Edo State. Date is 12th Saturday, December 2020. The venue is Holy Cross Prayer Ground, Elideku Street, off Old Road, Ogbesokota, Agbo Park, Ikobai, Benin City. The time is 12 noon. The theme of the public lecture is the danger of child abuse and trafficking in our community. Come one, come all. For more inquiry, call 0037395234. Edo Green Carnival, contributing to the restoration of the glory of the great Benin Kingdom. Oba Atabe Ise. Edo Green Carnival, Edo Green Carnival, oh yeah.
Oga landlord, good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Sonny.
I beg you. I hear say if I want open bank account, I go need NEPA bill, water bill, certificate of occupancy, CFO of this your land, and 2 guarantors. So I beg enter house, help me bring the document. Then come make I go make photocopy.
Sonny, why you dey wahala yourself like this? When you fit open Hope Wallet with your phone number, Nana.
I fit open bank account as in Nana.
Now?
Yeah, and you sure say no be those ones where person go need ATM card to take activate them?
Sonny, you fit use your phone number to transaction sharp as you dey open Hope Wallet account from anywhere. No need to dey go queue under canopy for bank. No need for documents or say you dey fill any form. Just dial *569*9# on top this your phone now.
*569*9#, abi? Oga landlord, them send message you. Them say I welcome to Hope PS Bank.
Sonny, you don't get account with that, oh.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Hope, succeed. Hope Bank always.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie can do it. 12 spicy suya, 11 rishi. 10 wraps on my mind, 9 for the road. 8 pizza from Kwame, 7 pepper soup, 6 sissy snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangos, 3 party jollof, 2 giz dodo.
Season to season with Maggie. Cook the difference.
Here we go.
All the hits.
Okay, enough commercials.
Woo! Back to the music. KUFM 92.7. Right back.
Let's get back to the music.
KUFM 92.7.
Inside my abule, I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just did one that said which party, everything yakba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost go babe. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy girls like make this stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. must see go back. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy guests like make the stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, Jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, Jaja. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, Jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, Jaja. Right.